Why is Jezebel remembered as one of the most wicked queens in biblical history? Her story is a captivating blend of power, idolatry, manipulation, and divine justice. Jezebel, the Phoenician princess who became the queen of Israel, influenced her husband, King Ahab, and led the nation astray. Her relentless persecution of God's prophets, her greed, and her ultimate downfall are tales of dramatic and moral lessons. From her marriage to Ahab to her tragic end, Jezebel's life is filled with events that showcase the consequences of defying divine authority. Now let's explore the complete story of Jezebel, the wicked queen, and uncover the profound lessons her life holds for us. Background and marriage to King Ahab. Jezebel was the wife of King Ahab, who ruled the kingdom of Israel. She hailed from Sidon, a Phoenician seacoast city known for its wealth and devotion to the god Baal. Jezebel, steeped in her homeland's idolatrous traditions, influenced Ahab profoundly. Instead of learning from the mistakes of his predecessors, Ahab followed Jezebel down the path of idolatry. At her urging, he built an altar and temple to Baal in Samaria, promoting the worship of this Canaanite god. This act marked a significant departure from the worship of Jehovah, the God of Israel, and led the nation into spiritual decline. Jezebel's influence was not merely religious, but also political, as she wielded significant power and authority alongside Ahab. Her strong-willed and ruthless nature made her a formidable force in the kingdom, often overshadowing Ahab's own rule. Her marriage to Ahab thus became a turning point for Israel, intertwining the fate of the nation with the pernicious practices of idolatry and setting the stage for the dramatic and tragic events that would unfold during their reign. Persecution of God's prophets. Jezebel's most notorious act was her relentless persecution of the prophets of Jehovah, the God of Israel. Determined to eradicate the worship of Jehovah and establish Baal worship, she systematically hunted down and killed many of God's prophets. Her campaign of terror created an atmosphere of fear and oppression throughout the kingdom. However, amidst this darkness, God raised up a mighty prophet named Elijah to stand against her. Elijah's boldness and unwavering faith culminated in a dramatic confrontation at Mount Carmel. There, Elijah challenged the prophets of Baal to a test of divine power, calling on them to summon their God to ignite a sacrifice. Despite their fervent efforts, Baal remained silent. Then Elijah prayed to Jehovah, and fire miraculously descended from heaven, consuming the sacrifice and even the stones of the altar. This spectacular display of divine power humiliated Jezebel's prophets and demonstrated the supremacy of Jehovah. The people of Israel, witnessing this miraculous event, were compelled to acknowledge Jehovah as the true God. Yet Jezebel's hatred for Elijah only intensified, setting the stage for further conflict and illustrating her unyielding defiance against God's chosen representatives. The Vineyard Incident. Jezebel's greed and manipulation came to the forefront when her husband, Ahab, coveted a vineyard owned by an innocent man named Naboth. Naboth's vineyard was situated near Ahab's palace, making it a desirable addition to the king's holdings. When Naboth refused to sell his ancestral land, citing his loyalty to God's laws, Ahab was disheartened. Sensing an opportunity to exercise her ruthless influence, Jezebel took matters into her own hands. She cunningly used Ahab's signet ring to forge letters in the king's name, instructing the elders of Naboth's city to falsely accuse him of blasphemy against God and the king. The accusations led to Naboth being unjustly stoned to death. With Naboth out of the way, Jezebel told Ahab to take possession of the vineyard. However, this act of injustice did not go unnoticed by God. He sent the prophet Elijah to confront Ahab, delivering a chilling prophecy of divine retribution. Elijah declared that Ahab's lineage would be cut off and that dogs would lick Jezebel's blood at the very spot where Naboth was slain. This incident exemplifies Jezebel's callousness and sets the stage for the ultimate downfall of her and her family. Elijah's curse and prophecy. After Ahab's death, Jezebel continued her malevolent influence as queen mother, perpetuating her reign of idolatry and wickedness. Unyielding in her defiance against God, she maintained her grip on power and extended her corrupt influence even further. Elijah, the fearless prophet, had already prophesied a grim end for Jezebel, declaring that she would be killed and dogs would devour her body, leaving nothing to bury. This prophecy served as a stark reminder of divine justice. Jezebel's malevolent legacy did not stop with her. It also spread to the southern kingdom of Judah through her daughter, Athaliah. Athaliah's marriage to Jehoram, king of Judah, brought Jezebel's idolatrous practices to a new region, further entrenching her wicked influence. Elijah's prophecy hung over Jezebel like a dark cloud, a constant reminder of the inevitable consequences of her relentless evil. Her continued defiance and the extension of her corrupt practices into Judah underscored the pervasive impact of her influence. As Elijah's words foretold, her end would come not with honor, but with disgrace, serving as a powerful testament to the certainty of divine retribution against those who lead others into sin and rebellion against God. Influence on both kingdoms. Jezebel's idolatrous practices infected both Israel and Judah, leaving a legacy of spiritual corruption. Her sons, Ahaziah and Joram, ascended to the throne of Israel, ensuring the continuation of her pernicious influence. They followed in their mother's footsteps, promoting the worship of Baal and further alienating the nation from the worship of Jehovah. The impact of Jezebel's influence was not confined to Israel alone. It also spread to the southern kingdom of Judah through her daughter, Athaliah. Athaliah married Jehoram, king of Judah, and brought with her the same idolatrous practices that had plagued Israel. Her presence in Judah introduced and perpetuated the worship of foreign gods, undermining the religious integrity of the kingdom. This cross-kingdom contamination of faith highlights the extensive reach of Jezebel's malevolent legacy. The enthronement of her children in positions of power ensured that her destructive influence continued unabated, leading both kingdoms further into spiritual decline. This pervasive idolatry set the stage for significant turmoil and divine retribution, illustrating the far-reaching consequences of Jezebel's actions and the enduring struggle between the forces of idolatry and the worship of the true God. Jehu's violent avenger. Elisha anointed Jehu to replace Joram as king, signaling a dramatic shift in the battle against idolatry in Israel. Jehu, a fierce and determined warrior, took up the mantle as God's avenger, resolute in his mission to eradicate the wickedness that had plagued the land under Jezebel's influence. His first significant act of retribution was directed toward the royal city of Jezreel. As Jehu approached the city, Jezebel, adorned in her regal finery, looked down from her window and mocked him, attempting to undermine his resolve. However, Jehu was undeterred, knowing that her fate had been sealed long ago by Elijah's prophecy. With a decisive command, he ordered her eunuchs to throw her down from the window. Her death was immediate and brutal, and as prophesied, dogs devoured her body, leaving nothing to bury. This gruesome end marked the fulfillment of divine judgment against Jezebel and symbolized the eradication of her malevolent influence. Jehu's actions were a stark reminder of the severe consequences of defying God and leading others into sin. His relentless pursuit of justice highlighted the inevitable downfall of those who perpetuate evil, reinforcing the overarching theme of divine retribution and restoration in Israel. Jezebel's tragic end. Jehu's arrival in Jezreel marked the final chapter of Jezebel's notorious reign. Determined to fulfill Elijah's prophecy, Jehu commanded Jezebel's eunuchs to throw her out of a window. Her fall was swift and fatal, and as her blood splattered on the walls and horses, it became clear that her end had arrived. The once powerful queen, who had instilled fear and promoted idolatry throughout Israel, was now at the mercy of the very dogs she had once scorned. The dogs consumed her body, leaving only her skull, feet, and hands, just as Elijah had foretold. This gruesome demise underscored the inevitable consequences of her relentless defiance against God and her propagation of idolatry. Jezebel's death was not just a physical end, but a symbolic eradication of her evil influence. Her story remains a powerful cautionary tale, a stark reminder of the fate that befalls those who lead others into sin and rebellion against divine authority. Jezebel's tragic end serves as a timeless lesson on the perils of pride, manipulation, and the rejection of God's commands, highlighting the enduring truth that wickedness, no matter how formidable, will ultimately face divine justice. Thank you for joining us as we unraveled the complete story of Jezebel, the wicked queen. Her life serves as a powerful reminder of the consequences of idolatry and defiance against divine authority. If you found this tale intriguing, please like, share, and subscribe to Faithful Tales for more stories that illuminate the lessons of history and faith. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest content. Until next time, keep seeking wisdom and understanding through these timeless narratives.